Yes.
Some pictures over here. Let's see. Are we live? Yes, we are live.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's there. My freaking software is going to drive me up a freaking wall. Not seriously.
Eh,
We're live. Just give me a few
good.
minutes to like actually.
Oh,
I know
take as much
you
time
don't
as you need,
care.
my man.
You don't care.
It's not like I
No,
have a hot date or
everything's
anything like that.
good.
Just
Everything is good with you. Besides, your internet feed sucks tonight from a video standpoint, but we'll live.
oh,
Your
sucks all
audio
the
is
time.
beautiful though.
Oh, yeah, thank you, Caroline. That would be the audio. The video, it's got to be me. So, you know, definitely the complaint department's over here.
The
Oh, and by the
complaints.
way,
Yes.
I think we have officially perplexed the phone company. I called them up and I asked them to add on the other landline to add call waiting and caller ID. It's been 3 weeks. They have not gotten back to me. I think they're trying to dig up the last person that had the code to do that. It's in the cemetery to try to do this. I'm like, you never get this question, do you? And she's like, I've never even heard of this. I'm like, well, now you have. It's like kind of need that shit. So
What's
she's like, call waiting. I'm like, yeah, yeah, call waiting, man.
Dude,
Going old school,
are
man.
we
Come
gonna go
on.
so far? Are we gonna go so far advanced into the future that we need to go back to landlines again, and that's gonna be the new normal?
Well, the thing is that it should like calm everybody else down because if I'm using a landline, they know where I'm at. I mean, when they just drive by and just kill me, I mean, that'd be the safest bet. So I mean, it just shows that duh, we're good.
Duh, duh.
You
Hey,
know,
I need to make a first disclaimer: is I am be patient with the network. I am fixing everything behind the scenes with all the streaming, all the technical BS you have to deal with behind the scenes, and it will occasionally freeze, but it's getting fixed. Because ultimately, guys, I'm telling you right now, it's going to end up being over there probably for the long haul because we are on borrowed time with other social media, and this is the problem. Let me tell you about streaming. The big tech guys have the best streaming stuff because they have all the money. So everyone's like, "Oh, well, BitChute and Rumble, yeah, I'll go to those, but they don't live stream yet. Parler doesn't live stream yet. I can only put up post videos. So my goal for everyone is always to be as live as possible. So with the network, I am fixing. So if it's freezing, my apologies, but do me a favor, do the best you can over there. Stay on it. I'm working on it as I'm on lives, by the way, too, because everything on my end is good. I can only do so much on my end. So we're working on it behind the scenes because that is going to be the long-term play. All right. I just want people to know that because I know people are getting frustrated with the freezing, but it is what it is for right now. Trust me, I'm throwing money at it and trying to make it go away. So bear with us, and we will get through all this stuff because in about a month or less, it will be a brand
less.
new network. So it's going to be pretty exciting. Yes, Twitch is an option, but guys, let me tell you about other websites. And let me give you the long-term game plan before we dive in here, because Jason will probably be on the network quite a bit because of all his fruitful giving. Um, but I don't want to be dependent upon other social media channels. So yes, there is the BitChutes of the world. There's the Gabs, there's the Parlors, there's the Rumbles, there's the Library, there's Twitch, etc. There's still tech, and there's still like I know they're decentralized and they're much better, but I don't want to be caged into a corner with a platform that I don't control. And this is one of the problems Anon's had. This was a big glitch in the system in the last 2 or 3 months where remember when like 30 different YouTube channels got yanked off that were all Anons? Well, they got yanked off because they weren't thinking about the big picture. There's only a couple like the Praying Medics of the world and like Freedom Battalion, I think. They were thinking big picture and they had their own sites. That's what you have to do. So I will not be a slave. I am willing to dump resources in, money, time, energy, etc., to making this network be the best it's going to be, because I don't want to be a slave to their, even if they're decentralized, I don't want to be a slave to their system, because like BitChute is completely decentralized, but guess what? About a month and a half ago, their host shut off and BitChute went down for like half a day plus, because they're also beholden to a network. So that's why I'm working on this. So just, bear with us on the freezing and the chat and all that stuff. I'm building it up, and I have one of the best in the business. Let me give a shout out to Gil, who he is one of the best in the business from a networking standpoint, production standpoint. He works with the biggest agencies on the planet, and so I have the best in my back pocket. But we got to work through some. Welcome to growth, Jason. Welcome to growth, right?
Yeah, and plus, I mean, everything's changing over. So I
Yeah,
mean, we're like going from like, you know, us getting all of our stuff like, stolen from us and kept from us. Now we're
right.
going more independent. So
Totally.
now it's just, it's going to take a little bit of time. So I mean, everybody can just,
Yeah.
calm down. Don't worry. It's
I
going to
think the
be
beauty
everything's
is
okay.
everyone's
Nobody's
like,
going.
well, you got taken down, you lost all your stuff. No, 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 no. Trust me, I have everything freaking backed up.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
own my videos. That simple.
It's like, oh, this is like people are like, well, aren't you afraid of losing your stuff? I'm like, losing what? I mean, we have everything hard copied and everything. I mean, we're not losing anything.
Yes.
I mean, this
Now,
stuff does not leave my site.
100%. Now, buddy, there is so much that we have to chat about tonight. And by the way,
Yeah.
happy early Thanksgiving. I don't have to be anywhere tomorrow until like 2 o'clock, and so um, whatever this takes tonight, it takes. We'll go whatever we need to go. If it's an hour, great. If it's 2 hours, fine. Whatever. I don't really care. It's not a problem. Um, I have a few things up my sleeve for you tonight, but I know you're gonna have some things up your sleeve. But I first want to say, well, again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Early Thanksgiving. Um, I may or may not go live tomorrow. I have not decided that. If people want me live tomorrow night, I will come live, because other than just going for some nice dinner, I will be available and home. But dude, today the man got pardoned. Jason Q, did you expect
Yeah.
General Flynn to get pardoned today? And when you answer this, there are a couple of nons out there who are not very happy with him getting pardoned versus exonerated.
Well, a pardon can come first and exoneration can come second. But
That's true.
honestly, there's there's something about that tweet. It's that last sentence that he put. I know you will now have a truly fantastic Thanksgiving. It's like, why'd you put the now in here? It's like, it didn't make any sense. And then, of course, when you look at all the capitalization that was unnecessary and timestamps, everything like that, it's like, yeah. I mean, he just blatantly told us what's going on. And it's just like, he's an animal. That's all I can say. I mean, I love the guy. Really do. This
So,
guy's awesome.
so the way this day unfolded, by the way, I'll recap some daily news that would have been on the show if I was solo, but I also wanted to bring Jason in because it's Wednesday night, but also I know he's chomping at the bit to get some information out to people. But this started with Gettysburg, where they had the little Pennsylvania, whatever you call it, not a deposition or case. I don't even know what you call it. It's a weird like community court case type situation. I don't know
Shit
the legal
show.
I don't know the legal words to it, but whatever. Um, so wait, these are the facts. First of all, there were approximately, I think, 1.8 million mail-in ballots mailed out. However, they counted 2.5 million ballots on election day slash the next day. So how do you magically come up with an extra 600,000 ballots? That number right there alone is the election in Pennsylvania. It's over. It's swayed. That goes to Trump automatically. That means Trump wins Pennsylvania in a landslide, because then Giuliani said that out of they were holding one piece of paper that had like a 300 vote or 100 or 300,000 vote swing, and out of that only 3,200
Oh,
were Trump votes.
it was
Only
over six hundred
3,200 were
thousand.
Trump votes, meaning
Yeah,
it was a stacked pile.
yeah. And when they said that, it was like over 600,000. And then they said it was like 3,200 for Trump. Everybody started laughing. It's like, this really? It's like, you know, I blame Common Core. That's all you can do. I mean, that's just the math right there. That's Common Core. That's Bill Gates, eugenics, let your kids do math with crayons and all that. So
Let
I
your
just,
kids do math with crayons.
I just don't know.
And then Trump came on. President Trump called into the meeting, and he said many things, but then he said something to the effect of, "We have it all."
Daddy ain't playing anymore.
Would you like
He's
to
jumping feet
comment
first.
on
And the
any of
thing is,
those happenings?
of course, well, especially the Gettysburg, because remember when he said that he was gonna it was a while ago, and he mentioned about um either accepting the nomination at Gettysburg or accepting it at the White House. And it's like now all of a sudden it's like we're here, it's Junior's birthday, number two, and then all of a sudden, with everything with Flynn, and it's the day before Thanksgiving, which in NESARA terms, I mean, tier one is the Native Americans. There you have it. And it's almost like we're making sure that we're doing everything right by the book. We're making sure, because I mean, let's face it, this whole white privilege. I mean, we we have a problem with treaties, and we just break them every time. I mean, we do not live up to any bargains. So that's why they had to make everything a law and not a treaty, because we just don't follow treaties. We're just, I guess the people before us were just idiots like that. They couldn't, their word wasn't worth shit. So everything changes, and here we are. And want to send a shout out to Elizabeth Warren. Happy Thanksgiving, you fake Indian bitch.
I have to give a
I
shout
mean,
out
it's just, I
to
mean,
I have to give a shout out to a fan of ours, Judy, who sent me Release the Kraken shirt from Chad Prather. That's right. Just
and then
fantastic.
we have from the spirit animal, Tina 40, real Tina,
Tina 40.
has a little bit of curse words on it,
Out of here.
little cuss words on it, but you know what? I mean,
Does everyone
she
know who Tina
is,
40 is?
she's the greatest.
Let me show the Twitter feed so that everyone knows. Tina 40. Now, if you listen to Tina 40, is tremendous. I'm just gonna let you know though up front. She does like 1 minute videos, and do not have the children around, because
No,
not
not even the same block,
no. There's Tina 40.
but
She's
she's passionate.
tremendous. She is fantastic, but she seeks to find out how many f-bombs she can drop in a given 1 minute video. I swear, and she's fantastic. So there you go, Tina 40.
And she
Tina
knocks
40 is tremendous.
and she knocks it out of the park and going after a guy with barbells as nipple piercings. So it's like I'm all for it, man. It's just this is great.
100%. She is tremendous. So, buddy, I have a topic that I wouldn't mind taking up tonight, but I'm going to let you go first because I want to hear what you have to say. I know you've been working on a lot of stuff. My stuff will come at the end because I don't have a ton of information on it yet, but I know it's going to be very crucial as we go forward.
I mean, where you want to start? I mean, we could start with Flynn.
Go with
We
Flynn.
could
Let's go with
jump
Flynn
right
since that
in.
was exciting today.
Okay. So, um, sent a tweet and all that, and they're like, oh, Flynn got, pardoned. I'm like, it's odd. So started looking at this, this tweet and everything. I'm like, huh. So when you look at it, there's letters that he doesn't have to capitalize, but he does anyways. So you got the G, you got the H, you got the F, and you got the P, right? So you break them down as numerical. You got G7, H8, F6, P is 16, right? Add them all up. 7 plus 8 plus 6 plus 1 plus 6 equals 28, and that is 4 sevens. Now you go ahead and go up to the timestamp, and it's 3:08 p.m., so that's automatically an 11. Then you have the 11:11 because you have the 11 from 3:08, then you have the 11 from November because it's the month of November, it's the 11th. Then you have the 25. There's another 7. So there's your fifth 7, which is 35. There's JFK. Happy birthday, JFK Jr. So then he goes to General Michael T. Flynn. Wants to make sure you got the T in there because you have to get the numbers in there. So you got the G7, M13, T20, F6. We're going to add 7, 13, 20, and 6. Comes up with 46. Now, wouldn't that be like a little odd that he would be like the 46th like standing president if he resigns? Because I was talking to
Oh
Robert David
yeah,
Steele
yeah, yeah,
today,
yeah.
and
So
he'd be
you're still
46.
on the resigning thing.
I'm telling you, it's got to happen. It has to happen because it's going to bring everybody down because they have to have a special election.
So question for you. Let me interject this, and then I'll let you keep going because I don't want to take you off track because then
Yep.
they get mad at me too. Is if Biden is granted the presidency via electoral college, I'm not talking about January 21st. I'm talking about via like Congress signs and seals the vote, right? Whether it's a fraud or not, they sign it. Does that not implicate the entire Congress into a fraudulent election with a
Yes,
international interference?
yes, it does, and it also goes against the U.S. Constitution and the Supreme Court ruling in 1878 that we know of. If there is 1 ounce of fraud, then the whole thing's a fraud. I mean, we've already seen that. I mean, Detroit had, shout out to Detroit for having a 300% voter turnout. How in the hell you did that, I have no idea, but you did it. Proud of you. But the thing is that they caught him. They caught him in 2016. They caught him in 2018, and they caught him in 2020. So it's not a coincidence that they've been doing this. How long have they been doing this? I mean, we can go way back. I mean, when has our vote ever counted? I mean, honestly, not in my lifetime. It hasn't. If you
Right.
look, even if you start with Reagan, right? Which I of course I couldn't vote for Reagan, but he was an actor who was the VP. George H.W. Bush. I mean, they were trying to kill Reagan. I mean, they probably did, and they just had his clone finish his term out. And you see like how when H.W. got in there, and then he only had to serve 1 term because Clinton was already waiting in the wings, and he's like, well, hell, I don't have to do this job anymore, and I could just pass it off to this cokehead. There you go. Bring this guy in and his evil ass wife and a bunch of pedo friends and just tear the whole place up. Then, hey, you mind giving it to my kid? Because he's a little bit smarter than Jeb, but they're both retarded. So it's like it's like having 2 bad pennies. And they are. They're both idiots. But then look who's running the show then, Dick Cheney. It's just flat out pure evil. Everything has been going on, and then of course you've got the golden child, the Kenyan nightmare. So everybody swears up and down he's the greatest thing next to sliced bread.
The Kenyan
So now,
nightmare.
yeah, And then his wife's got a kickstand, and I mean, you can go
Okay,
all day, all night with
I'll
it.
take you back on to Flynn. Sorry, I distracted.
No, it's okay. I mean, I mean, it's the same thing with Flynn because you have to have somebody standing in to, to be an acting president. And it's just like they did back in 2016, was it May, when they had Dunford, step in when they overthrew Obama. So they had Dunford and who else was it? I believe it was no, they couldn't have. I think Dunford had to be VP, and they had I believe Paul Ryan like as a figurehead because Dunford was still active. Now Flynn is retired, so he can actually step into this. And the thing is, Q actually pointed out that the drop 4506 on June 24th, 2020, that the People's General soon, and then they gave us a 3 stars. Well, we do the math with all that, you got 4506, that's a 15, which is a 6. You add 1 plus 5 is 6. And then you have the June 24th, which is June could be a 10 or a 1.
Yep.
So you had the 1 plus 2 plus 4 is 7. So that's your 13. 7 plus 6 is 13. And then you have your 2020, which is 2 and 2. So you add 13 plus 2 plus 2, and there's your 17 with your Q. And then you look at the time as 10:22:06. So you add the 6 and the 1, there's your 7. Your 22's in the middle, there's your 11:11. I mean, just saying. And then,
Just saying.
yeah, I mean, we just go back to, 2604 when they were talking about like securing the Senate meant everything, securing the Supreme Court meant everything. Because what they had to do is they had to make sure that they had somebody to, because, I mean, you've got Roberts in there, that's a traitor. Sotomayor and Kagan, they're useless. They got to go. I mean, that's Huma. With the acronym, that's Elena Kagan. Because she's the one that took the $20 million from bin Talal in Saudi Arabia, because she's Muslim Brotherhood, to actually, because she was the Harvard, the dean of students at Harvard.
Right.
So she went from there to Supreme Court. So she took it for 20 mil. They infiltrated everything. I mean, and the thing is, like, the Muslim Brotherhood, I hate to say it, but they're also the Jews. Because the Jews, it's all spread out. They're the Wahhabi Jews. You've got the Khazarians, the Wahhabis, the
Did I lose you? You fell off. Oh, they're not very happy with him. Hold on a second. Sometimes, folks. Sometimes. He was talking about some stuff there. All right, let me rope him back in. Hold on 1 second. He dropped. He dropped. Okay, let me get this figured out here while we're going. And I will get him back on. Always interesting. Aren't we entertaining? Haven't we entertained you? Okay. Now I have to go to Twitter to find him because it axed his entire Skype. Um, let's see. Well, that was fun. Let me see if he is looking at his other stuff because he actually completely disconnected. Like he is not on. It cut him off. Hold on. Bear with us with all these technical, lovely things. Here we go.
I think it's because I said the nasty J word.
Well, wait a second though. So, wait, you didn't even say it that badly this time. I mean, come on, that
Well,
wasn't
I
even that bad.
said worse by better. I mean, that was kind of soft.
And so, folks, this this is why I need you to very, 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 very patiently wait for the network and the freezing and the stuff we're working through there, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if you think that well, it's not even on Facebook anymore. If you think that Twitter is gonna allow that forever and YouTube is gonna allow that forever, you got another thing coming. So the network, you came back with better internet though. You're more clear, which I love. That's fantastic. But the network is going to be the only place that sometimes this is going to be allowed to discuss because.
Well, I mean,
But you came back better
and the
quality.
best
I
part of
kind
it,
of like this new Jason on video.
yeah, he's still the same Jag.
So
So,
go for it. Keep going.
unfortunately, all right. Um, where was I? Okay. Well, we went to post 2604. It was on December 12th, 2018. Which, if you think about it, December 14th is our big day with the whole electoral college, which is Deltas 2 when we're time jumping. So December 12th, 2018, you could just go ahead and go December 12th, 2020, and then add the 2 days. There you go. But
Post
the time, it's
2604. Is that what you said?
yes,
Q post.
yes. Q post 2604.
I have it right here.
There you go.
What would you like to point out?
Well, the whole thing. Because this is the greatest one because this is right before they started the Q&A when people are like, "Oh, see, Q said JFK Jr. is dead and the Earth is a spinning ball and this and that." It's like, okay, but they didn't look at post 2604 that says at the bottom, it says, "Never let someone else drive you. Those who try to drive you are not your friend." That's why it says, you want to trust yourself, or think for yourself, trust yourself, research for yourself, be in control of yourself. And then they go to a Q&A, and then you have all these just dumbasses, just like spot off. See what he said. I'm like, you did read the last post, right? Or said like,
So tell them what you mean. Did you cut off again? Oh, they're not happy. Let's see. It's cutting bad. Well. Let's see here. What can we do about this situation? Let me check all of my. So on my end, we're good. It's coming in from his end. Uh, and trust me, I have a few different ways I can do this. So I might cut off and come back on a different platform to see if that stabilizes his feed, because I'm checking my connections. My connections are good. and there shouldn't be a problem there. So, all right, this is what we're gonna do. Hang in there. This is what I'm gonna do. I am going to exit, and I'm